As I stepped onto the flight attendant gave me a strange smile. "Can I check your ticket, please?" I handed over the ticket I'd been twirling nervously in my hands. She nodded approvingly, pulled out a folded piece of paper, and tucked it into my ticket. "Have a nice flight," she said, her voice unnaturally cheerful. I found my seat, a middle one. As I settled in, I unfolded the note she'd given me. It was handwritten in a rushed scrawl. Rules for surviving this flight. 1. Do not share this note with anyone. You are the only human on this flight. 2. All rules apply based on the time on your phone. Check it immediately after reading this. 3. For the first hour, do not talk to anyone, even if they seem friendly or ask for help. Ignore them. 4. In the second hour, someone will mention the window. Do not, under any circumstances, look outside. 5. If you hear a child crying, hide in the bathroom immediately and lock the door. Do not come out until the crying stops. 6. If your screen or entertainment console goes black, turn it off and look away. It's watching. 7. During the third hour, the captain will make an announcement. Do not trust him. Follow your instincts instead. 8. If you hear the flight attendants laughing, find the emergency exit and stay near it. They are no longer flight attendants. 9. By the fourth hour, the chaser will arrive. Evade them at all costs. You will know them when you see them. At first, I laughed. It had to be a joke, but as I checked my phone out of curiosity, unease crept in. 7:13 p.m. The first hour. I decided to keep quiet, just in case. A man sat down next to me, clutching his laptop bag tightly. He didn't speak at first, which was fine by me, but then he turned, his face pale and slightly wrong, like a poor imitation of a human. "Do you wear headphones?" he asked casually. I froze, remembering the first rule. I didn't reply, turning toward the window instead. "What would you do?" he continued, his voice calm but unnervingly robotic. "If I cut your hand off right now?" My grip on the note tightened, my knuckles white. He eventually turned back to his laptop, muttering under his breath. I risked a glance at his screen, and my heart stopped. It was a photo of me, staring blankly at myself. The second hour. The plane grew quieter, unnaturally so. A flight attendant approached, her smile unnervingly wide, her teeth too sharp. "Sir," she said in a honeyed tone, "have you seen the view outside? You really should take a look." My blood ran cold. Rule 4. Do not look outside. I stared at my lap, refusing to meet her gaze. She lingered, her smile twitching, before moving on. That's when I heard it. A faint cry, growing louder by the second. A child's cry. My heart raced as I remembered Rule 5. If you hear a child crying, hide in the bathroom immediately. I bolted, ignoring the passengers' stares, and locked myself in the tiny bathroom. The cries grew louder, mixed with whispers and faint tapping on the door. "Nick," a child's voice called softly. I didn't respond. I stayed frozen until the crying stopped, replaced by an eerie silence. The third hour. The captain's voice crackled over the intercom. "Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching turbulence. Remain seated and trust your crew." Something about his tone felt wrong, almost mocking. Rule 7 came to mind. Do not trust the captain. Follow your instincts. I stepped out cautiously. The passengers now looked warped, their faces stretched into grotesque masks of humanity. Some had hollow eyes, others had too many teeth. I spotted it, the emergency exit. My instincts screamed to go there. The overhead lights flickered, and high-pitched, inhuman giggles filled the cabin, the flight attendants' laughter. Rule 8, stay near the emergency exit. The fourth hour. A tall, unnaturally thin figure stepped into the aisle. Its face was blank, featureless. It tilted its head toward me, and I knew it was the chaser. Panic surged. I flung open the emergency exit, the roar of the wind deafening. To my surprise, a parachute was strapped to the wall. Without hesitation, I grabbed it, strapped it on, and jumped. The air was freezing as I plummeted into darkness. The plane vanished above me, swallowed by the void. I yanked the parachute cord, and after what felt like an eternity, I landed in an empty field. Disoriented but alive, I stumbled into a nearby town. The lights of a small police station beckoned me, and I burst inside, breathless and rambling. The flight, it wasn't normal. The passengers, the rules, something was wrong. The officer on duty frowned, eyeing me skeptically. "What flight are you talking about?" "The 7 p.m. from gate 22, I insisted, my voice trembling. He exchanged a glance with his partner, then shook his head. "Gate 22? There hasn't been a flight from there in years. That section of the airport's been shut down since... Since what? I demanded. The crash, he said quietly. My blood ran cold. What crash? He sighed and pulled up archived footage from the airport cameras. My heart raced as I watched the screen. There I was, walking through the terminal, completely alone. The video showed me entering the abandoned section of the airport, its dusty corridors eerily empty. I wasn't talking to anyone. There was no bustling crowd, no plane waiting at the gate. Just me and the hollow silence. You never boarded any flight, the officer said grimly. I stared at the screen, trying to make sense of it. Then, just before the footage ended, something caught my eye. In the corner of the frame, a figure stood in the shadows, a tall, thin figure with a blank face. Its head tilted ever so slightly as if it knew I was watching. My stomach churned as the screen froze on that haunting image. It had been watching me the whole time. Hey, if you enjoyed this story and wanted to hear more terrifying tales, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your support means the world to me, and it helps keep these stories coming. Until next time, stay safe, stay alert, and remember, you never know what's lurking around the corner.